time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple T, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday. Time to go to work. Listen what the hot boys tell them. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boy shining. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, go defense, gone defense, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple T, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday. Time to go to work. Listen what the hot boys tell them. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. time to go to work. Yeah. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchmen coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boy shining. Clock and D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock and D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to.
We gone.
It's good, bro.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. Coming to you this Monday night, busting through you. I know y'all don't want to see. Come on, man. Who they got on right now? Pittsburgh, some bums versus some other bums. You know what I'm talking about? I think they got a total wins of like 7 wins altogether, man. You ain't trying to watch them. Y'all trying to watch West Coast, trying to watch Boss Cowboy. Y'all trying to talk about these Cowboys, get educated on what's going on with your team, because that's what's most importante. I just made that word up. What's up with you, Dwayne? Let me get a share. What up with you, Marcy? Let me get a share. Brandon Hernandez. Well, let me get a share. Dan Tortina. What up with you, man? Richard. What up with you? Michael Jaquez. What up with you? How you doing, Kimberly? How you doing, Miss Kimberly? Carlo. Rodney. What up with you? Man, that's a lot of scouts in the building. Kerry. Jamar. What up? Hey, Jamar. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. What it do, man? Sherman. How you doing? Shay. How you doing? Nathan. James Hightower. What up with you? Hey, man, Nathan. I be seeing you. And you's a soldier for your Cowboys. I'm about to get you. We have a special crew of elite, Cowboy defenders of the star. You know what I'm saying? We like a special team. You know what I'm saying? We just go into special cat and chat groups, and we just knock it all out. They be talking about crazy stuff, and we just hit them with facts. You definitely is a candidate, because I be seeing you out there in the turf, man. Be banging for your Cowboys. I like that. I like that, man. I like when I see like. People,
they go hard.
Yeah, because there be a lot of BS out there in these chat groups. You know what I'm saying? And I like when I see people that be on our shows and they be fighting that mess. You know what I'm talking about? Like I even sometimes I jump, whoa, just cannonball right in the middle with some BS. Like, man, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. And then they'll be like, what? Who do you? Oh, that's West Coast. Oh, how you doing? I'll be like, yeah, man, that comment you just said was dumb. That guy right there, he's right. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nathan, man. I be seeing you in them trenches, man. Gabriel, what up with you? Dwayne, what's up with you? Miss Marcy, what's up with you? We live in your group right now, I think, if we don't believe. How you doing? And everybody else, if I seen you, if I miss you, make sure you throw your name in the comment box so I get you. But that's everybody who I see watching. So we had 785 comments the last show. You guys were hella engaged. I love it. Hey, did I forget somebody? Did I forget I ain't forget him. Let me. Hey, if I'm on the line, you already know what it is, man. Who am I have on the line with me? The boss, man. What's up with you, boss Cowboy, man? I see you, man. How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? Oh, man. So
got you feeling like Jordan Lewis, huh? I know, my bad. Got you feeling like Donovan Wilson right now. Just feeling all left out.
Oh, no, bro. I ain't feel like them at all. Never, man. I get my rips.
Hey, man, I got so caught up in all these people watching. I just, how I be, man. You know how I be, man.
I'm gonna say, man, when you enjoying it and you saying what's up to people, bro, I has no problem with that. They family, take your time.
I heard that. See, that's right. That's what I love about Boss Cowboy, man. You know what I'm talking about? Darlene, how you doing? Oh, I smell. You know what I smell? I smell 16, 17, 18-year-olds barbecuing in my backyard. The smell of success. Some damn good parenting you doing over there, West West Coast. I will pat myself on my back. You know what I'm talking about? All right, now at the end of this show, we're gonna have some good information. Boss Cowboy, I know you see some people over there on Boss Cowboy Sports that's watching, man. Who you see over there, man? Tell some people.
I'm just not clicking on Boss Cowboy Sports, man, so I can't see them yet. But everybody that's on my page in Boss Cowboy Sports that's watching, man, what's up?
What up with you, man? What up?
I'll be saying what's up to you real quick. I'm getting on now.
All right, we got 79 people. Before we take off on this first subject, I need all 79 of you guys to give us one share. Hey, if we do one share all together, then guess what? We're going to be able to get it all through the nation. So, now let's go and start into this first conversation, man. NFL trades. Now, I got to say NFL trades because there are a lot of trades. Even though we are the Dallas Cowboys, we scout our team. There are still trades that will happen inside the world, just like there are things that happen at your job that can directly affect you. Like a guy like Leonard Williams coming into the NFC East. I don't know, maybe because we play them twice a year and we're a team that likes to run the ball. So yeah, it might get my attention when I see a bad team who probably has nothing to gain getting a piece that's going to help them in the future. Yeah. That it kind of irritates me a little bit, Boss Cowboy. Why are the New York Football Giants trying to improve their defensive line? They're basically playing for a top pick, right? So you're telling me that they're seeing problems now and fixing them now? Okay, I got it. Okay, Boss Cowboy, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, the pick was kind of weird. I think that was more of a hater pick against us, to be honest, bro. To be all the way honest, I think that was a hater pick against us because they are obviously in a rebuild mode. And in a rebuild mode, you more than likely should cherish your draft picks, But sometimes you pick players because they add to your team and they also hurt the other team that is shopping them. And I think that's more so what they did in this moment because it's really strategically where they are as an organization. You want the draft picks because if you look around, especially when you have the subject title as NFL trades, what would you consider to be the number one trend with the most aggressive trade partners right now?
What do you mean? Elaborate just a tad.
I'm asking you a question. What does all the teams that seem to be trading right now, what do they have in common?
Oh, they're all playoff teams.
Yeah, they contenders.
Yeah, they're contenders.
So it's like for you to get aggressive on Williams and you're not a contender, you had another motive because all the other teams that's making big trades are almost like trying to fill their holes to make sure that their run is secure going forward. Because we pretty much at the halfway point, and we all went through our checklist, and we all went through our halftime adjustments of the season, and we said, going forward, we think this is what's going to help put us over the hump. And anybody that had a hump addressed it. So the fact that the Giants did that with Williams was more of a hater move, I would say. Or I wouldn't call it a hater move. It was more so trying to weaken us and strengthen them. But why would you give away picks? Because you need picks as a team when you're in rebuild mode.
Well, I'm gonna throw something about. You know what I'm saying? Because it can be definitely a little hater, and it's always a little hateration. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this too: if you're the New York Giants, right, and you have to deal with 21 for the next 5 years, it would behoove you to improve your defensive line at some point. Because I already told you guys, there are some positions on the football field that you got to pay for. And we're like the only team that's an anomaly. If you want to be able to stop the run in the NFL consistently on a consistent basis, you have to pay for that. That's just something you have to do. You name me a team that can stop the run who doesn't have top picks on their defensive line. I can only name one. Who? The Dallas Cowboys. And that's when what? Them hot boys is playing well in that middle. We're the only team. Washington can stop the run. Guess what? Go look at their payroll. Yeah, they can pay for it. They're paying for it. So when you want to run the ball, you got to pay for it. If you want to stop somebody from running the ball, you got to pay for it. When I look at these other teams, guess what the Washington Redskins are built for? They're built to stop the run. Philadelphia Eagles, guess what? They had the number 2 run-stopping defense in the NFL this year when we played them. That's why for one of the few times this season I told you guys I 100% agree with Boston. Well, I always agree with him, but I'm just saying on this aspect of the game preparation. I said I agree with Boss Cowboy on this aspect. I think we should come out there on the ball. Why? Because I don't want to run into the strength of their team. Like, that's what they're most confident in. So why just keep running Zeke into London, whatever that boy, Cox and all those other dudes? Made no sense. The Giants, right. The Dallas Cowboys. Could we stop the run at one point? We could. So you think of this in your division, it's already built. And look at the running back. You have Zeke, you have Barkley, you have Geis. You know what I'm saying? Technically, you got Jordan Howard, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't want to shoot the Giants too much in the foot because on some small facet, bro, you got to deal with Zeke for the next 5 years, bro. You gotta at some point, if you got to like, or you just gonna deny the fact that he's one of the best. He's the best running back in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean they getting ready to see, but see they build through free agency and they don't mind doing it. They really don't mind. They are all the way fine with that. That's a totally different philosophy than what we have. And because of Will McClay, you know, I can see where they might say, yeah, let's do what we got to do. Because now you got Lawrence, right? You got Dexter Lawrence, and now you have him.
Dexter
So
Lawrence
you basically
and freaking oh my god.
So you building basically the counter us, and everybody can see that that's what they're doing. They building the counter us, and they not afraid to spend the money. But going back to the point, like going back to Sanu, everybody know at the age where Sanu is now, right? That when New England gave away a second rounder, every one of us know New England is not a stupid team. And we all know Sanu was not worth the second rounder at his age, but they gave it because of the timing. It's like we know we need receivers, and we know even though we undefeated, we know we have a weakness on the outside, and we need that. We tried to cover it with Gordon. He having issues. We tried to cover with Antonio Brown. Obviously, that didn't work out. So, because we're still serious about this year, go ahead and give up the second and give us our best chance at this year winning it all. The same thing Seattle did. And so, like, because see, if you're not careful, you'll fall into the Dallas Cowboy PR wall. Because David Hellman said this. He said the Cowboys can afford to pay all their important pieces. But to offset all those costs, they have to continue hitting in the draft with their big-time picks first through the third rounds primarily, occasionally fourth. Can't restock your roster cheaply if you trade in thirds for soon-to-be FAs. So they already got their guys out there trying to, you know, stock up the message on why they passed on Williams. So, yeah, I hear what David is saying. And David is saying, like, yeah, it is cheaper to build through the draft, but it's also like, David, the timing is bad, brother, because we still have a depth problem at DT, even with Bennett. And if we're trying to shore up our run, stop building for the future and occasionally put your chips in now.
Yeah.
We not stop building through the draft. We just saying sometimes in the game of poker, you got a good hand and go all in.
Yeah, and then also think about this, man. You build during the draft when it's draft season. It's not draft season right now. Like, that's not – there's a time and a place for everything, and that's not the time to be thinking that right now. Like, it's halftime. I'm not thinking about who I'm playing next week. I'm thinking about beating this team right here. No matter if I'm down by 40, I'm still thinking about beating this team right here. Why? Because that's what's in front of me. Now, what I also see is a different mentality. I see – the New England Patriots being undefeated, the San Francisco 49ers being undefeated, and them looking back and saying, we want to win a Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bill, what is the one thing that can stop us from winning a Super Bowl? Bill says, well, we got Tommy. I mean, the only thing I can think of is Josh Gordon then, you know, if he gets dinged up or something, or that rookie we play, if he doesn't come back that we draft in the first. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go get a wide receiver. Teams that have their eyes
and we're
set.
going to overspend.
Not even overspend. You're
you spend.
But this is the thing.
Overspend with a section.
I don't. This is my thing, right? If you're commuting the value of how much you need it, it's not like how much do you overspend water when you in the Sahara Desert? You'll give everything for it. You know what I'm saying? If the New England Patriots right now looked in their system and saying, we need a wide receiver like we need water, bro, you go out there and you get that second round pick and you get whatever's available. And think about this.
Yeah.
Think about this too. The reason why the Dallas Cowboys value draft picks is because we get draft picks early. The reason why you get draft picks early is because you're not going deep in the playoffs. Do you notice that teams that go deep in the playoffs can give a damn about a first-round pick? You want to know why? Because who cares about pick 32? Who cares? Who cares about, and I'm not trying, and I love my boy Taco, but think about this. Taco was what? Coming off of a really good season. So we picked late. We all said that Taco was what? A second-round pick. If Taco gets picked in the second round where he's supposed to, you're looking at him like, God dang, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. And see, let me elaborate on your point. When you know you starting hot, you also have
Patriots can care less about a first-round pick. They trying to win a Super Bowl.
Hold on real quick. Yeah, because I'm finna echo your point. When you know that you starting hot, like San Fran, like Green Bay, like Seattle, like New England, you also know that you're more than likely going to be picking at the bottom of the draft.
Yep.
So your second is really more so like a what?
Third.
You see what I'm saying?
It's at the back of the second round. It's in the back.
So that's where you have. That's where projections is smart, and that's where is a second is not even really more of a reach when you forecasting, and especially if you hit your forecast.
And it also lets you know, it lets you know that they believe in their success too. I think we believe that we can win a Super Bowl team, but our actions also show that we're also like, yeah, I believe we can win a Super Bowl, but if we don't. And it feels like the Dallas Cowboys put just as much plans into if we don't win, where the New England Patriots, they just full foot in. It's not about next year. It's just full foot in. If Tom Brady's 40 years old and guess what? We have nobody to back him up. Who cares? We'll deal with that next year. That's an all-in mentality. That's an all.
Yeah, I mean, like, the biggest thing to me that you said is like, and it was on the last show when you look at what Philly did. When Philly won their Super Bowl, and obviously I'm not saying Philly is better than us. I'm just comparing and making a real comparison. They won their Super Bowl because they got aggressive on win now. And it wasn't obviously because Wentz had an MVP season or 13 games. It was the fact that they spent for Nick Foles. They spent on Ajayi. They spent on Blunt. They got the number one free agent receiver at the time, which was Alshon Jeffries. They also added Torrey Smith. They won that Super Bowl on going out there shopping where we hate to shop. Free agents. And they went out there and did it. Versus, like, if you look at how we approach it, we'll say we have a dire need at defensive tackle, and we only have the second round pick, and it's a late pick at 58. But Will McClain, go work your magic. Go get it. Go get us an instant impact. DT, right now, we trust you. And it's not about the talent. Steven more so saying, if you get this done, it's going to be way cheaper.
Hey, I got to say something real quick. Slap yourself to anybody who ever said anything disrespectful about Taco Charleston. That young man just got a sack and a forced fumble. He currently, right now, Taco Charleston in 27 career games with the Cowboys, 4 total sacks. Taco Charleston in 4.5 games. Let's just round it off to 5. 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble.
On a losing team.
I mean, bro, on a losing team, a team that has nothing to win for, nothing.
Yeah, and so with a losing team like that, that means the offense will more than likely start running the ball early because they already secured wins. That also means he's getting less opportunities for sacks, and he's still getting sacks.
That also lets me know that y'all need to stop believing on it. Go ahead.
It's right around the time we said that defensive ends and D tackles turn the corner.
Wow. Year
3. Now, people was laughing at you, West Coast, earlier. They was laughing at me with, oh, yeah, Taco was sorry.
He's a soft taco. That was my favorite one. He's a soft taco.
Saying the whole time, you can't make plays if you're not on the field. And people judge Taco wrong, call them trash and a bust and all this kind of stuff when it's the same thing that Wilson is going through and Jarwin is going through and Lewis is going through. They not getting their reps.
It's crazy.
Isn't it funny that Wilson right now for Kansas City is balling? howling. You know what I mean? I mean, so it's
my thing
it's
is
like,
just go ahead.
you know, I just want to say this real quick. This next part, because it's super important, because a lot of people still don't get us West Coast. I'm certain they don't. Okay, because I have on a recent article that I just wrote the sport track that links directly to the projected cap space that we have, and it's literally 81,140,072. 81 million. But I want to tell y'all the cap space that we had the last 7 years. It was 11, 9, 6, 10, 4, 3, a negative 9 million, and then only 30. We have basically enough cap space next year to cover the last 7 years. But we'll let them tell us we ain't got no money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep it real with y'all.
You got enough money to pay Dak. You got enough money to pay Cooper. You got enough to go get you a Diggs and to get another Thielen, and you can throw in another Zeke. That's how much money we have.
Yeah.
And people literally be coddling our owners. Like I saw somebody in one of the threads say when we was talking, well, we have other players that need to be paid too.
Who?
There is none.
I say
there
who?
is nobody. Exactly. There's nobody up and coming that's going to drain that 81 million. Nobody. After we could pay all of those people twice and still be sitting on 24 million and make us exactly where we are right now.
Hey man, if your mind is being open, and you're hearing stuff like you ain't never heard it before, man, and you getting that twinkling sensation in your soul, and it's not gas, hit that share button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that shit.
Yeah, like people literally like having Steven back. Like, I understand. Like somebody told me, I like what Steven is doing. I like it. He's trying to be like New England, and it's like, listen, man.
Steven's not. Hey, remember this one? Steven's not putting up with their shit.
And see, like this, he's trying to be like New England. See, this is what we got to understand. First of all, New England has earned that. Like, if you somebody that want a ring, you really do know this from the bottom of your heart that the chances of you getting a ring increases just because you're in New England.
Yep.
So if you're at the end of your career and you like, okay, I really want a ring. I got everything else but a ring. I got me 1 or 2 big contracts. My house paid for, my kids through college, whatever. I want my chance at the ring. I will give a pay cut to go to the right team to do that. That's New England. You do not go to a team that hasn't even sniffed a Super Bowl in 23 to 24 years and say, I'm going to give you a discount because your methods get you there so many times.
And then they be trying to act like playing for the Dallas Cowboys is like playing in 1960, where Dallas Cowboys had the Dallas media. Was the 2 biggest medias in the world was with Dallas, New York, and LA. You know what I'm saying? So yes, playing in Dallas had its advantages. But have y'all ever heard of social media? Have y'all ever heard of Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube? I ain't gonna lie, I just discovered Instagram a couple months ago. But they have this thing now. And if you pretty popping, dude, I think you can get it popping anywhere. I don't think playing in Dallas has that outside of the state taxes. Now the state taxes, that is something worth to talk about. But my buddy Roy Williams, my real good buddy Roy Williams, you know, number 31 horse collar guy, knock you out. Well, he told me that under the old CBA, they changed the rule where now you get taxed for every city you play in. So even if you play in Dallas, you only get that luxury 8 times out of the year. I'm like, damn. So, if you want some like revolutionary, like fight the power that be, Dallas is definitely not an attractive place to come. I'm just being real with you, man. I love my team. I wish it wasn't like this. You know what I'm saying? I got called some crazy stuff when Jerry Jones was talking about that standing deal. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not gonna repeat to y'all some of the stuff some of my own people call me. Hey, it's life. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is, man. That's what it is in Dallas, man. There are other tangible things that happen in Dallas. I need to put this on a shirt, man. But literally, this is true. The Dallas Cowboys make football decisions that are made solely on non-football decisions. If you got that, you can be a scout. If you ain't got that, keep it tagging along. You'll get in a little bit. So don't trip. It'll fall. It'll trickle down on you like pixie dust. Hey, let's get into some of these comments, man, because we've been sucking on these comments. We want to. The next thing we about to talk about. Hey, we only been on here 30 minutes. That means we can still hard knock out some stuff. Hey, this next portion of the show is going to be brought to you by our family over there at Cowboys Packages, man. We're going to be having on November 10th, November 9th. I'll be in Dallas. We'll have Jalen Smith, and we're going to have one surprise guest. And, surprise guest always plays for the Cowboys, always an active roster guy. So, but Jalen Smith will be there. You guys already know he's my guy that's going to be rocking with me all year. So make sure you guys come out. But, Boss Cowboy, man, I want to talk about some Cowboys offensive moves as far as things that you think could be made or some improvements in some areas, some things that we could do as far as to improve or just get some consistency as far as points and things like that. Because one thing I know about my Dallas Cowboys, man, is we can get kind of streaky at times. So I just want to kind of talk about that because that's been something definitely. Or do you think the Dallas Cowboys need to make a move or made some moves, or should make a move considering that, your left tackle and your right tackle almost didn't play just 2 weeks ago? That's weird to me, right?
Yeah.
People are probably wondering, like, what do you mean West Coast offensive moves? I thought we were good on offense. Let me talk to me, Boss Cowboy.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with everybody.
Keep it funky, please.
Yeah, the need that we have, in my opinion, now is the exact same need I felt like we had going into the season. Dallas does not have that basketball team of receivers. We have a bunch of point guards and shooting guards. So we don't have a guy that can win just because they're bigger, stronger, faster, can jump higher. We have people that beat you with routes. And it's good, but we still, to me, have a deficit in that area. And I never felt like we really addressed it. We passed on a lot of opportunities that gives Dak that person that's open when they're never open. So I felt like we always had to have that void there because, see, what happens is when we get in that red zone, that's what you more than likely need more than anything, that person that can just win because they're better. And what we're doing, we're putting the stress and the pressure on Kellen Moore to have the right scheme. And it's been working. It's been working, but once people kind of figure out your patterns and they start saying, oh, they like to go to Witten. Oh, they try to use deception or they use quarterback sneak. Like, it's going to work the first half of the season. But then in the second half, and as you start getting into the post, you start running out of tricks. And so it comes down to sometimes Dez is just better than you. He's just going to out jump you. Just throw it up. Literally, just make it to where it's an alley-oop. We don't have that. Like in terms of our tackles, I felt like we really didn't need any acquisitions there because when I look at the injuries that happened between T. Smith and Liel, they was more freakish. They wasn't breakdowns in their bodies. Like, both of them had some freakish happen to their knees and people fell on them and stuff like that. So they just really needed to get healthy. That's to me. And so now with them being back healthy, your depth is still in place. Now, you do have a real good point, though, that we are kind of playing some real
Russian roulette
with an undrafted free agent as your right tackle. Yes, for the most part, he's held up, but do you want to continue to rely on that, especially going into the later half of this season where things are going to get hard? I can't fight you on that point, West Coast, to where upgrade almost like two swings to a degree, especially seeing that we just lost to the Jets because mostly you can say because they were out, right? If you look at the hits that Dak took with both of those tackles being out, you don't want Dak going through games like that.
Killed, bro. He was getting folded.
Matter of fact, Dak said this. He said, I didn't feel like this since I played Alabama. People don't get the weight of that, though, West Coast. You know what he was saying? Since I played all those first rounders. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what he really saying, because think about who he was going against at Alabama. He was going against like 8 first rounders. And he said that Jets game felt to me like those first rounders did me when I was the only person out there
getting hit.
Hey. So yeah, you got a hell of a point on terms of what is kind of like a sneaky emergency need that kind of might have been exposed through Liel going down. Yeah, it's the fact that we have an undrafted free agent at right tackle.
Yeah, and then also, I mean, my also thoughts on that is, you know, if someone was to tell me West Coast, what would you rather have, a Michael Bennett or a Michael Bennett-like backup quality tackle? I'm going to take the tackle. Why? Because, bro, when Tyron Smith does not play, my whole entire morning, forget my team is different. Bro, I walk different. We laugh different. Like, everything is different. And I want to believe in Cam. I want to believe in Cam Fleming. But I don't want to believe in Cam Fleming for a long period of time. And I'm going to be honest with you. The Dallas Cowboys, if we were not already anticipating Tyron Smith being out of some games, then we just weren't paying attention to the last 5 years. Like, I don't care what I don't care what the injury. That's why I'm like, bro, I don't really care what the injury is. It was going to happen. Like, I've been telling you guys, Tyron Smith does not play 16 games. He just don't do it. Like, he's not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, you should have a guy who you feel comfortable starting, not just playing, starting at least 4 games in your season. Then also, I mean, my boy La'el Collins got off to a really hot start. He looked really good. You know, I'm hoping that can continue. He's never really been that injury. But La'el Collins, but Tyron is the one that scares me. And the reason being is because it's the most realistic and it's the most damaging. Like, I'm sorry, there's just certain stuff you can't count. You can't, bro. If Dak Prescott go down, bro, I don't give a damn how much play calling you do, Kellen Moore. There's gonna be a difference in your offense. You know what I'm saying? When Tyron Smith ain't there, there's a difference in your offense.
Oh yeah,
like you gonna have to work.
It's a drop off. Yeah, it's a drop off, and you know, like I've always had my own Greg Robinson, who playing with the Browns right now for swing.
I think he just got got released.
No, he just got benched.
He got benched. That's what it was. We need to trade for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love a trade for him, and that would be basically like super shoring up our tackles. Now, is Greg Robinson better than what we have? Absolutely not. But is he better than Cam or about on Cam level? I would say absolutely, or better. You know what I mean? And so we all know this. You know this. I know this. Whenever you get somebody and acquire somebody like a Greg Robinson, who was a former top 3 pick, they're not going to be as depth players on the starters levels, but you just don't want them to be so bad to where they just basically break the ship and sink it quick, like Chaz Green, you know, somebody like that. So, but you're right though. It's like you want better than Brandon Knight, but don't expect better than La'el Collins, and that's not what I would expect, and that would be in a shoring up mode before the trade deadline. That would be a good trade, and more than likely with him being just benched like he is, they would probably give us something. We would probably be able to get him for something cheap, like a 6 or something like that. And that's the type of person that you want to lock up for the next 2 years, just like you locked up Cam, because you also securing the left tackle and you also securing now the right tackle, you know, and you'll let them battle it out maybe in the offseason next year, who will be the starting swing, you know. But yeah, so the 2 areas on offense, since you brought up offense, right, that to me could shore up our offense is a better red zone target and upgrade that right tackle. I agree with that 100%. Everywhere else, I think our depth is super good.
Yeah, extremely. And I got people saying, you know, should we trade Tyron Smith? I'm going to be honest with you, man. There's nothing I'm going to do to take Tyron Smith off that field unless I know I'm putting the same quality back on the field. Like, there's just, like, your quarterback's blind side is just some stuff you just don't mess with. Like, I remember I used to ride motorcycles back in the day, and I went to go buy a helmet. I said, man, damn, these helmets is expensive. He said, well, dang, how much your head worth? I said, oh, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, dang, how much your quarterback worth? You know what I'm saying? How much is the ability for your quarterback to stand up and throw a pass worth?
Yeah,
That's
and
what
I'm
you're
gonna
for.
say this: like somebody just asked a question, and I saw Travis say we need a future left tackle.
We do.
Be honest, this would be a good draft to do that. Because I think we should play it like Philly is playing it with Cox. They got Dillard, right? Dillard was the number one graded tackle coming out this draft. But you already had an all-pro left tackle and an all-pro right tackle, and you had a super solid swing. They had already a really, really, really good swing. They won the Super Bowl with their swing tackle.
Yeah.
But they still got the number one tackle because it's also about repping those guys up, giving them reps to where when you finally get rid of Cox or Lane Johnson, your next 10-year tackles step in line.
They're there.
So it's like have to be a transition. But see, tackle is also something that if you really want a good one, generally you're going to have to spend the first on.
But think about this. Think about this, boss. If the Cowboys, if you did it right, the Cowboys drafted their offensive line, right? So if you really do it right, an offensive line play longer than the only position that play longer than offensive line is quarterbacks. So the offensive line actually gives you the time to actually draft guys late and develop them. Why? Because you can have them in your program so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Joe Looney was not Joe Looney. I mean, 4 years later he was Joe Looney. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Looney was not Joe Looney.
I meant Peter, y'all. My fault.
Yeah, we all knew you did. So don't. We all knew you did.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't even correct you. But hey, before I switch to this next, remember guys, the purpose of communication is for you to understand what I'm talking about. So sometimes you don't got to correct us if you knew what I was talking about. Real quick, what are your thoughts on OJ? My boy Nick says if OJ Howard, he basically asking is OJ Howard worth the first round? He worth the first round pick if you were willing to pay. If you're willing to pay for it, he's worth it. To the Dallas Cowboys, no, not in my opinion. I don't believe he is. I don't believe he is, and I'm gonna ask Boss Cowboy his thoughts on it next. But I mean, mine 100% goes to utilization. I mean, if the tight end was one of the top two positions targeted on my offense, and hell yeah, I'd be down to do it. But he's not. We target the running backs before we target the tight end. So for me to spend that type of funds, no. And then I'd be ready to piss on myself because I'm like, yo, all them tight ends you could have got at 58. I mean, I'm not saying all of them, but I mean, yeah, dang. Now, obviously, he's not an O.J. Howard. But guess what? If we're not going to use O.J. Howard, what is O.J. Howard? I mean, we don't even use Blake Jarwin. And Blake Jarwin caught 3 touchdowns in a game. O.J. Howard ain't never did that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, now I guess Blake Jarwin sucks because he ain't getting the ball no more. Hey, why does Blake Jarwin suck?
He's not playing.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure because, god dang, how
he don't suck.
I was just wondering. I was just thinking, like, how I thought, because I heard someone in the chat group tell me that Blake Jarwin sucked. And I'm like, well, all he do is catch touchdowns. That's all he do.
So listen, okay.
Wide open touchdowns.
So you asked, is he worth the first?
How did he go from, and is he worth the first? And then I need to know, how did Blake Jarwin go from being the future to starting tight end to sucking? How did that happen?
Let me answer that one first.
Yeah, answer that one first, please.
Politics. I mean, that's, like we love Witten. See, like, listen, this is how, whenever you ask a question like, what's going on with this person or that person, the first thing you got to say is the person that's in front of them loved? And that would answer your question.
Go look at the vacation pictures.
Go look. So if the person Witten is love, Heath is love, Anthony Brown is love. So that explains why Jordan Lewis don't play, Wilson doesn't play, and Jordan reps are ramped down. That's it. Now, in terms of that question depends on your love for the player. You asking me?
I know you like him.
I'm spending the first on Howard like yesterday.
I know you is.
Because I love everything about Howard. And I would love for him to be, especially in our offense and the way that we utilize tight ends. Absolutely. In a real world, yes. But for the Dallas Cowboys, in a real world, absolutely. Yes. He'll take your offense to the next level. Dude,
because you don't have enough guys. Yeah,
4-5, bruh. He's fully complete everywhere. He blocks better than Witten. He catches better than Witten. His routes are better than Witten. He's with a bad quarterback. That's what's going on. Howard doesn't have the quarterback. If Howard had the quarterback, if he had Dak, bruh, he lightened it up, bruh. No doubt. Like, I would expect that, but this is my opinion. Everybody got different analysis and different eyes. I was in love. Matter of fact, Howard played in the first half of the Senior Bowl. Lit them up so bad, bro, and they just checked out at halftime, and they was like, "Yep, he's done enough. He's clear top 15 pick." I mean, and it was really that good, bro. We talking about a tight end that was running around with receiver speed, big, physical, everything. Man, come from a winning program. I would do it, but Dallas not gonna do it because Dallas likes to save money. They like the draft picks over the players. They'd rather say, I would gamble on Will McClay getting it right in the future versus getting it absolutely right now.
And the Dallas Cowboys are also going to go look at snap counts and be like, yeah, bro, we don't even throw to the tight end. Yeah, I'm not going to pay for that.
Yeah, I mean, Howard, it would be a resurgence of Super 12 personnel if we got him, bro. You can split him out. He can stretch the field. I mean, I absolutely love him, bro. I think he's one of the best tight ends to come out in the last 5 years. I just think I think it's just like Cooper. We all love Cooper now, but Cooper was suffering with the Raiders because Carr. You know what I mean? And he was starting to look like he was going downhill. There's no way the Raiders, with the way that Cooper's playing with Dak, would have gave him away now. They wouldn't even considered it. They wouldn't have been like, oh, we'll give you a first. No, they would have been like, no, we're not getting rid of that. Why would you get rid of a top 5? Right? They'd have been like, if you want a top 5, that's going to cost you a first and a third or a first and a second. We ain't doing it for just no first. You know, and that's how I see Howard. So, because I still, to this day, I always look at not just the player. I look at the player and what kind of environment you putting them in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you put Howard in our environment with his pedigree, his professionalism, his background, his skills, his blocking. Bro, you don't need Witten. You don't need Jarwin. You good with just that.
Yeah, man.
But that's me. That's me. And I think it'll make our offense like super killer, bro. Like, bro, you talking about pick your poison, bro. That'll be like Jim Jones with the Kool-Aid, bro.
If I'm New England, bro, I'm gonna sign Tom Brady for a 5-year contract, and I'm gonna go get OJ Howard, and I'm about to go rule the NFL for the next 5 years. While all y'all is talking about y'all gonna win the Super Bowl, we'll be winning it. that's what I would do. If this was Madden, that's what I would do. Like, because it makes too much sense. If you drop OJ Howard into an offense that's good, he makes it ridiculously better. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, bro, like a team like Kansas City, oh, my Lord, I don't want to speak that into existence.
Oh, God.
I don't even want to speak that into existence.
Oh, God. Like, he's in the wrong place. And that happens.
And you put him with like a team that's not because you got Baker Mayfield, he's supposed to be really good, and he got weapons, and he ain't doing nothing. Boy got more interceptions than he got touchdowns.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, sometimes you can find steals because you got great players in bad situations. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I will say about Williams, because it's a lot of people that's hurt right now because they looking at Dallas like, damn, you had a defensive tackle, you have a defensive tackle depth problem. You got Bennett and called him a defensive end, but we all really know that you did it as a substitute for Crawford. But we still need another DT, especially the way that we was mollywopped last year by the Rams. We still kind of exposing that area. This is the only way that I would be cool with us passing on Williams. That's if we get Derrick Brown from Auburn next year in the draft or Raekwon from Alabama. That would be the absolute only reason. But other than that, Dallas should have gave up that third and fifth.
Yeah, I got people said they not utilized. Dalton Schultz is not good. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton. I'm sorry. Hey, I love all my Cowboys. I do. And if he's watching this show, hey, it is what it is, bro. But no. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let's go on to our last subject of the night, man, because we already talked about them hot boys at length tonight. We've already talked about kind of like moves and stuff we want to talk about with Taco, and talked about with D-Law a little bit. We talked about with, some other things with the D-tackle position. So let's end this up. Our last conversation of the night is going to be on Dak and Amari Cooper's money, man. I dropped a video earlier today. You guys really supported it a lot. Almost got like 4,500 views. I appreciate you guys for that. And I went into detail as far as Amari Cooper hit his 16th game with the Dallas Cowboys. And as of 16 games, the young man has like 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. If he played that whole season, 2018, with those exact stats, that put him at 9th. Yards in touchdowns, more importantly, puts him at 5th. And then that would have even been 5th last year. And then most importantly, man, the boys, I be walking around here talking about Amari Cooper. I mean, Zeke ain't never lost. Zeke ain't never lost to the Eagles. I'm going to get a shirt. Zeke ain't never lost. Well, god dang, Amari Cooper ain't never lost to anybody in the NFC East. Put that on a t-shirt. He's 7-0 against an entire division. Like, that's some Nick Saban stuff, bro.
West Coast, I just sent you some. How long will it take you to throw it up if you can? Because it's about that. But anyway, to your point with Cooper. Cooper is the biggest ball drop that's going on right now on money, and it's not even funny, okay? Because Cooper, because of his 5th-year option, is being paid $13.9 million right now, okay? Because in new contracts you can front load and back load contracts, we obviously would have backloaded his contract for savings, right? And put most of his year one money on bonus, because when you put most of his year one money on bonus, what you can do is then spread it over the duration of his contract, which absolutely says, without one doubt, if they would have signed him before the season, Dallas would have saved money, especially in the 2019 cap. And I want to make sure everybody understand that we would have saved exponential money even with signing him to a 5-year, multi-million-dollar deal. We would have saved money. It would have took the cap from maybe 25, maybe even up to 31 now. It would have made it super easy to sign Dak. It would have been like no problem. But because Stephen Jones is trying to break precedent, and that's super important what I'm saying, because people don't understand that. Most people don't understand that what Stephen is asking of Dak and Cooper and what he tried with Zeke doesn't happen nowhere with no team. There's no team with a young franchise quarterback, not one, that took a deal under market. Not one. You can't find me one in 100 years. There's no top 5 receiver. Not one that didn't take market. Antonio Brown had a record-breaking deal. But to go to the Raiders, guess what? I want another one. And he what? Got it. Because that's how it works. The agents are going to get on their resumes with their new clients record-breaking. That is the game. Everybody know how it goes, and it's not going to change because Steven just wants it to. And so he's asking Cooper and Dak to do what nobody in the league is doing. He's telling those guys, yeah, I'm not giving it to you. I know that's how it works, but I'm not doing it. Even to the point to where they losing money because of that standoff. They are literally losing money now because every game that Cooper is playing, he's eating up that 13.9, which is depleting the savings they would have got from a new contract. And that is a fact. The more that Steven plays this game, the more he plays his own self. And I'm going to give you another example. Steven really started making these team-friendly demands in early April. I know this because I wrote about this. I know the exact quote he said because he first started doing this with Dak. And he said, Dak must take a team-friendly deal. He said it April 5th, okay? He said he must. When everybody else, when they dealing with their quarterbacks, are quiet and they handle those deals. Got it? All right. So everybody else handle those deals behind closed doors and they do it quiet. They did the total opposite. They went to the public and said, we are not paying Dak market rate. He must take a team-friendly deal. Now, remember this. When he said that, was Russell Wilson paid yet, West Coast?
No.
Was Wentz paid yet?
No, nobody was paid, if I'm mistaken.
Oh, no, they wasn't. And then obviously Goff wasn't paid. So I did this chart right here. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can see it.
It is.
But on the left side, you'll see the contract dates. Everything is green, meaning that it was a record breaking and it broke a benchmark. So do you see anything on that list that's red, West Coast?
Nope.
That means Jared Goff broke a market value. Wentz did. That means obviously Russell Wilson did, Matt Ryan did, Kirk Cousins did, Jimmy Garoppolo, Matthew Stafford, Carr, Luck. It'll keep going on and on. If I kept doing this chart throughout history, every young franchise quarterback would break a record somewhere. And these are the records you can break. The average per year, the total size of the contract, which is usually the average per year times a certain duration amount. So that might say if it's a 5-year contract, 30 million, let's say it's the average per year, that total contract size would be 150 million. That would be the record that would be broken. Or the last record that can be broken is the total guarantee. Every quarterback, every receiver broke at least one of those records. Every one. So this is what most people don't get that Steven is saying. Steven is saying, yes, every team did that for every one of their players. And he going to Amari saying, yes, that did happen to every one of those receivers, but I'm not doing it for y'all. And the more he holds, because if he would have went ahead and instead of being tough in April, if he would have said, okay, we understand like other teams do, we understand the game. Your agent got to break a market somewhere. We go do this. We go have you match Matthew Stafford at 30, but we go give you a higher total contract because we gonna make yours 5 years, and we gonna give you a bigger guarantee, and that's gonna be 100. You go break the record and guarantee. Cool. Dak would have said cool and signed it. And then after that would have been Russell Wilson, which would have been higher. Then it would have been Wentz, who then would have been higher. Then it would have been Goff, and we would have had Dak locked in for 30. But because Steven continues to play this, none of my guys are getting market, and he's holding them hostage, it keeps jacking the price up because now you have both of them watching other people get paid that they know they better than. And what did Roy Williams say when we had him on the show, when you got him on the show, West Coast? What did he say contracts are really about?
Appreciation
and respect, bro. So it's at this point, it's not even about the money. It's about am I gonna let y'all disrespect me in front of my family and kids? Or y'all go tell me by my contract that I'm not worth what Wentz is worth? That's what you go tell me? Because that's what it's about now. It's not about money now. It's about respect now. That's why he put out there, I'm not looking to get what the people with the Super Bowl rings have gotten. I have on the list right here what they got. It's all right there. Look at what Russell Wilson got, 35 million. You see that? Yes. And that's what he's saying. I don't want that. I want more than what Wentz got and who else got? Goff. If you get me right there and give me a higher guarantee, go look at the latest guarantee number on Goff. It's 110. So you know what will close this deal, West Coast?
112 million.
112 million guaranteed, which you can space out. You fighting them and you being hostile to them over bullshit, Steven. It's the exact same thing you did to Zeke.
Right now, realistically, it should be 112. if they offered him a contract for $112 million at 33.5, just round it off to 30, even if you want to say 34 million.
It would be done.
At a total, and the total contract at 136, the contract should be done.
Be done, bro. It would be done. But Steven
the only way it's not done is if Jerry Jones is not offering that. And think about this. Think about this, boss. They said that they offered $30 million. So realistically, what you're saying is there's a difference between they're about $3 million off at worst, $4 million off at worst. Four at worst.
And then most people don't understand this. $30 million is a slap in the face. He might as well spit in his face. Like, how you go look at Wentz and you 4-1 to get some head up, 4-2 overall. And all your stats better than him. More touchdowns, more yards, better passing rating, better percentages, better QBR, leadership, everything. Durability. And I'm making y'all $125 million in off the money.
And then think about this, Boss Cowboy. And you didn't have to pay me $26 million to find that out. Because the Eagles already gave Wentz $26 million on a rookie contract.
Yeah, you was paying me $600,000 while I was giving you all of that back in return. And so you telling me to take a discount after you got the best value?
Like think about this. You've already technically, if Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz play for the same amount of years, Carson Wentz is still going to make more money than Dak Prescott, regardless if he's better or not, because Carson Wentz got money coming into the NFL where Dak played for 4 years for $2 million. So, I mean, think about that. At the end of their careers, the Dallas Cowboys will still look back and be like, we got the better deal. Why? Because we had Dak for X amount of years, and we didn't have to pay him nearly as much as you guys paid Wentz. And you guys drafted him.
Yeah, it hurts. It really hurts when you really have real knowledge, because you really know when you getting bullshitted, and then you turn around, excuse me, that's 2 cuss words, and then you turn around and you see our fans falling for it. It's a hurtful feeling, West Coast. It's a very hurtful feeling to watch our fans be like, I agree with Steven. They be like, what? This dude spit in your quarterback's face in the damn season. He told your quarterback, yeah, we know you better than Wentz, but we only giving you 30. What you gonna do about it? What? No, hell no. And then this is the thing they doing that's worst of all. They throwing their players under the bus in the public. Over money. And it's over money they don't need. Yeah. You got $81 million projected next year before cuts. Once they make all their cuts and stuff, they go walk into next offseason with over $100 freaking million. Hey, you trying to hardball me over damn $2 million and then throw my name under the bus? People don't understand what's going on, man. This is super insulting to Dak and Cooper, and they insulted Zeke. It's people that hate Zeke to this day. Every time we lose, people say this, shouldn't have paid Zeke all that money. The only reason Dallas fans are sour at Zeke now after loving Zeke for so long is because the front office threw him under the bus over money, and they made it seem like it was greed when really Zeke was fighting for what's right.
My boy Fonzo says, if I was Dak, I would say I already gave y'all a team-friendly deal. My first 4 years was very team-friendly. Very. That's all you got to say. And that's not my – and think about this. Jerry Jones said one of his biggest regrets was not winning a Super Bowl with Tony Romo. Why? Because when we gave him the $100 million, Tony Romo ended up being a very cheap quarterback. That's why Jerry Jones looked, and then he thought about all the stuff, the jersey sales, because they were talking about it. It was a merchandise conversation. People always make that quote. Jerry Jones always says he regrets winning a Super Bowl with Tony Romo. Yeah, he said that, but he said that while he was talking about Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott's jersey sales. Because that one was the conversation was about. You know what I'm saying? It was a conversation about merchandise. And he said one of his greatest. So what I'm thinking is he thought about, God dang, all that money I would have made if Tony Romo would have won the Super Bowl. Because I wasn't even really paying him a lot. And we was making a ton of money off of him. You know what I'm saying? If we would have won a Super Bowl, the amount of money we would have won.
People don't understand contracts, West Coast. That's what it is, because people was mad at Romo when he got that $108 million total contract. But see, people don't understand that was over a 6-year duration. Yeah. So when you have, So Romo actually hooked us up. People don't understand that.
He would have been making $18 million, and we was looking at that like, oh my God.
He was 18 million, but it was the percentage of the cap that was the hookup. The percentage of the cap was 14%.
Yeah.
Right now, the percentage of the cap is up to 19% with the last 4 quarterbacks. That's excessive. That's with all of them. Ain't none of them worth that. Aaron Rodgers ain't worth that according to historicals. Russell Wilson not worth that according to historicals. Goff show ain't worth that, and Show Wentz ain't. But they all by getting that around 17 to 18%. But the person that jacked up the market,
both quarterbacks who got paid are struggling. Wentz is struggling. Jared Goff is struggling. Matt Ryan is struggling.
Yeah, and Matt Ryan is putting up numbers. He's putting up big numbers on throwing yards. But at the same time, it's like
it's not calculating into wins.
You can't tell me, and you can't tell me if you get Dak, Julio, with Sanu as a number 2, and Ridley as a number 3. Man, come on, bro. What you think that go do with that? Like seriously, like that go like that all the way up, bro. Like, because it's just pretty much obvious there was really no even true commitment on Dak until we absolutely had to. So Stephen Jones, and I put that on my 5th point on the article that I wrote, which is going to what somebody said, one of the scouts. You saying now, Stephen, well, and throwing him under the bus, if you just work with us, we trying to build around you. We can't build around you if you cost all this money, right? That's what he's saying. But when I cost 600,000 and I only cost 600,000, what did you do when I was the best savings in the entire league out of all positions? There was no better return on investment than me in the entire league. The return on investment for me was better than Tom Brady, hands down. You paying 600,000 for 9-figure performances. That's over $100 million of returns that you're getting back for paying 600,000, and you never really invested into me. Go look at what Baker Mayfield got. Did he get invested into?
Yeah, and
look at what they was trying to do with Tom Brady. Did they invest into him? Look at what they did with Wentz. Did they invest? Every one of them cost way more than Dak Prescott, and every one of those teams still committed to weaponizing to an exponential level their quarterbacks.
Hey, I'm going to tell you guys right now, with all these new contracts, the franchise tag going up, it was, before all this happened, it was projected to be at $28.9 million. But after Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, and Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan, because they take the top 5, after those guys got enumerated this past year and in the year before last, right now I have that at $164 million. You divide that by 5, that's $32.8 million. That's makes no sense. You can franchise that. You can franchise Dak Prescott, but it's going to cost you 32 for one season.
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
And it's like, we don't want to be the bearers of bad news. We just want to give y'all the facts. And it's like, if you on this show, you're going to be like, what? Because you can't fall for propaganda once you know the facts. Steven just can't come out and say to you, well, we trying to build a team around them. If you don't understand anything about the cap, you'll go for that and say, damn, Dak, you selfish,
and boss, think about this. And boss, think about
and let them help you.
Hey, boss, think about
and
this.
It's like,
why,
they're not helping you
boss,
anyway.
And boss, think about this. Why would Dak take less than $32.8 million when he knows he's guaranteed that at least next year? Why would I take less than $32.8 million? The franchise tag would be
when
30.
You got a franchise
bro,
tag
the franchise,
yeah,
you have to franchise tag me. Like, think about this. If I'm
I didn't think of that.
I'll be honest with you, you need to call your boy and get your $100 because you won the bet. There's no way Dak will take less than $32.8 million because all he has to do is finish this season healthy. That's it. If he finishes his season
So they
healthy,
offered him what he. So basically, what West Coast is saying is they offered him less than what he go automatically get anyway.
what they offered him less. The Dallas Cowboys, I think they be thinking that people are dumb. You know what I'm saying? And I think
That's what they think, bro.
why would I take $30 million when the franchise tag? I can just take a franchise tag next year
33.
and make $2.8 million more. And then think about this.
Like, why would I do that?
The franchise tag for Tank was $20 million. He wanted 23. They met where? Right in the middle, around 21 and a half. Like, so I think that with the franchise tag being at 32.8, Dak can really get 35. Because you're not going to settle on next year he can get it. I mean, he could really get it this year if he wanted it, but they're going to have to give him 35. Next year, you're talking about 35 as the bottom. Like, the least is 35 next year.
That's the bottom.
That's what I'm saying, 35, because the franchise tag is 32.8. Why would you sign a contract for a franchise tag? That's dumb. That's what you're guaranteed to get. I mean,
and let me say one more thing on this too, West Coast. That's super frustrating, bro. Like, extremely.
I'll slap Dak's agent if he signed for less than $32.8 million, and I'll tell him why. Why? Because you sold your client out. You sold your client out. There's no way he can. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if the Jerry Jones right now is saying, Dak, we're only going to give you $32 million, I 100% understand why Dak ain't signed a contract. I get it now. The light literally just came on in my head. Like the light, if they're not offering me more than $33 million, I 100% get why. And he has to play. It sucks because they know Dak has to play. Now, technically, he could just walk in there and be like, I'm done. And then they probably
I'm done, bro. And that's really what he should do. They broke. And see, people don't get this. If you go back and look at that chart, you look at that chart, and you look at the dates of those contracts, and you look at the color, they're green. That means there was a market record broken with each one of those contracts, okay? Understand this. Stephen Jones is saying, I'm not breaking no records with this man. He's not getting market on anything, even guarantee. And you can make him have a better guarantee by giving him a bigger duration of contract. You can make it a 4 or 5 year contract, and he breaks that record. But this is what the other part that people not hearing, West Coast, they not hearing their quarterback cry out. Because when he said publicly, you remember he said this about 3 weeks ago, West Coast? I'm not looking. I don't believe I deserve what those top guys get that have the rings.
Okay, right? Well, that's only Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Like,
Russell
who else?
Wilson.
Who else is he? Like there's only like 5.
So
like,
that put a bottom. That's bottom.
Can you say
so
something?
So that put a bottom, but this is. Yeah, let me finish this one point because I want to talk about the stress that Dak is going through. What Dak was saying is, I want this done.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for 40. I'm not looking for 35. Give me 34 with 112 total guarantee, and let's close this out. Can I please focus on football? That's what he was saying, bro. And we got super silly fans that's super tone deaf. One of the things that frustrate me the worst, West Coast, is when I get in these inboxes and I plead this case, and then somebody say, we okay, Dak okay. It's like, please go read my article where I specifically have the quotes of what Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers said, what contract negotiations feel like. Yeah. And they both was like, it's like time has stood still. It stays on your head. Is anybody mentally tougher than Aaron Rodgers? Oh. Is anybody mentally tougher than Russell Wilson? And they talk about the mental stress of going through a contract negotiation in just preparation. Well, what is that going through when he going through this, but yet he got to get ready for the enemy every week? He got to hear the media talk about this every week. And even when he try to turn off his social media, he'll get a call from his brother and say, bro, you hear what Shannon Sharp said about you, bro? You hear he can't get away from it unless they sign him. Once they sign him, it goes to the past. But as long as Jerry and Steven trying to win this whole stupid ego contest about making your guys take less than market, you keeping this distraction that you started.
Yeah, and before we just a quick observation: Andrew Luck does not have a Super Bowl, never played in a Super Bowl. Derek Carr does not have a Super Bowl, never made it past the second round of the playoffs. Matthew Stafford has never made it past the first round of the playoffs. Kirk Cousins has never made it past the first round of the playoffs. Matt Ryan, he did go to the Super Bowl and lose 28. They were up 28-3, but since then he's basically dropped a turd. Aaron Rodgers hasn't won a Super Bowl in 10 years. Russell Wilson, yeah, he's 5-foot gangster. Got to give him his money. Carson Wentz, bro, he barely plays. And Jared Goff, I mean, they said they were. I mean, let's just be real. The LA Rams said that they mutually agreed that they were not going to pay him. I said, wait, time out. When has two people ever mutually agreed? Like, I got somebody that owe me money right now, and I'm not mutually agreeing that you're not going to pay me. I want my money. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call you tomorrow about my money. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never mutually agreed never in my life to not pay me my money. So then he got paid, you know what I mean? So they probably paid him because they was like, yeah, bro, it just makes more sense to pay him. Why? Because, it's just what the country kind of do. But yeah, there's only two Super Bowl winning quarterbacks up here. So I don't even see how winning a Super Bowl, if to be honest with you, this really tells me that winning a Super Bowl has no actual bearing on a contract.
No.
Because think about this, Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff, they make the same amount of money. One went, one won. I mean, I think you're paying to win it, right? Well, I mean, how does Jared Goff get paid the same amount of money as Aaron Rodgers does? They're not even in the same. They can't even. I mean, come on now. Aaron Rodgers is a way better quarterback than Jared Goff. Like, don't even talk about. Let's not even talk about Dak Prescott. Like, how the hell is Jared Goff making the same amount of money as Aaron Rodgers? Like, actually, matter of fact, how did the LA Rams have more faith in giving him $110 million and Aaron Rodgers only got 98.7? How does he have
guaranteed? Yeah. So, and see, that's the case we make against Dak. Why would you pay him more money than Aaron Rodgers? It's because it's not about who's better. Listen, it's about who's next. That's how it works. If you're the next franchise quarterback, that's what it's about. Because that agent is going to try to top one of those three categories so that he can get it on his resume. That's why it's been an ongoing precedent in record-breaking contracts. Every franchise quarterback, or receiver, or running back,
think about this, Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Carson Wentz right now. Derek Carr is number one right now in the NFL in pass percentage at 72.2%. Like, I mean, you didn't even, like, honestly, you don't even got to bring Dak into this conversation. Like, if you really look at this map, it tells you that how good you are has nothing to do with anything. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, look at this. Like, Derek Carr, like, these numbers are all over the place. Like, how the heck is Jared Goff? Like, look at the rankings. If anything, this would tell you that what? Okay, Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFL. Right now, probably not. Probably Aaron Rodgers. Okay, well, who's then number two? You're going to tell me Jared Goff is the second best quarterback in the NFL? Second. No. Jared Goff is the second best quarterback in the NFL. Okay.
Oh.
Equally as good. Okay. Let's see. Carson Wentz is the third best quarterback in the NFL. So you're telling me that you would take Matt Ryan. So you would take Carson Wentz over Matt Ryan? Hell no.
No.
No. Would you take Jimmy G over Jared Goff? Yes. Well, guess what? Jared Goff makes $5 million more. Well, guess what? Jimmy G got an undefeated team right now. I mean, the numbers are all over the place. I mean, Andrew Luck was supposed to be the next Peyton Manning, and he makes the least out of all them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So the numbers are all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with that.
Just be seeing stuff, man. People be all over the place. Man, see, Dak need to play out his contract. Tell me what
he need to win a Super Bowl. Like, he need to
win us a Super Bowl.
How did Derek Carr get this?
Go back to elementary, bro. That's elementary. Like, you absolutely have done no research to say a statement like that. You're a half-ass fan that do half-ass research. Because, see, that's obvious when you say stuff like that because you have literally no idea how the market works.
Carson Wentz has never won a playoff game. Think about that. Never won a play. He's never even played in a playoff game.
Started in one. Five people that was record breakers never even started in the playoffs, not even once. And they all broke records in their contract. And Steven said, even though Dak has done that twice, right? And even won at least playoff game, right? I'm still not giving you a market setting contract, even though we know that's how the game goes.
That's crazy.
And see, and most people don't get this part too, West Coast. Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson was talking about the stress of going through those contract negotiations and how it bothered them being worried about their financial futures, right? And they was already millionaires. That was after their first contract. They was already rich. And they talked about the stress. You got your quarterback, and I don't want to hear that endorsement crap. But Dak made about $50 million in endorsements.
So
okay, let me ask you a
what?
question. No, you right on that, West Coast, but it's another point on that too. What if Dak get hurt? What happens to all those endorsements? I'm just curious.
Oh shoot, you ain't even gotta ask that, man. I'm gonna ask you a question, Boss Cowboy. You got a regular job, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got a little job you doing. You got your little business on the side, little cable business on the side. You get a little popping.
It's none of their business.
Now, can I ask you a question? When you go in you going for your pay raise for your regular job, they be like, "Dang, Boss Cowboy, I heard you got it popping." You know what I'm saying? And
on the fire stick.
On the fire stick, I heard you had the fire sticks popping, and I heard you be selling them for the low, and you could get all the channels and whatever you want. And I heard you can hit you up, and then you'll send it to my house.
That's true too, yeah.
I mean, Boss Cowboy, with all that, man, I just don't think it's fair that we should have to pay you, give you a raise if you already making money selling your fire sticks. Like, I mean, dang, West Coast, I know you got the jerseys popping, but you know what I'm saying? Like, why should we give you a bigger commission on this real estate, on this house that you sold, when we know you got the jerseys popping? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, some of the stuff, you just got to call it what it is. That's the dumbest thing. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Bro. My side hustle got nothing to do with my job.
You can't even bring it up. You can't even bring that up.
Yeah, my side money and what I do on the side to make money has nothing to do with the contract that's due to me with the Dallas Cowboys.
Just like Jerry Jones' side money that he make. You think Jerry Jones can afford to buy a $250 million yacht off the Dallas Cowboys? No. And don't believe it. The Cowboys make him a ton of money, but they ain't making $250 million yacht money. No.
Yeah.
No. Everybody who owned an NFL team was already a billionaire. Go ahead.
And I guarantee nobody questioning Jerry about, hey, how you got that. Nobody. And he would let you. But yet, we got our fans talking about it's okay to do that because, look, he's making about $50 million annually on the side because of the commercials that he does. Look, first of all, right, West Coast, that has nothing to do what's due to him with his performance on the field contract.
And you know that. And y'all know that. Don't even bring that up. And you know that. That's dumb.
And then then the team leaks stuff like that to make you against your quarterback. It's like, bro, like, no, you supposed to be right now guns blazing, not literal, but very angry at Steven and Jerry because you can't find. Go look at also the specific dates that's on that chart. Look at the specific dates that's on that chart. You know the other trend that's insulting? You will see not one franchise quarterback negotiating within the season. Not one. Our ownership broke precedent when they said we're going to make Cooper and Dak fight through the distraction that we cause even during the season. Every other billionaire owner said we are smart enough to let our best players just focus on football. We go fight you in the offseason over money, but it's going to end before kickoff. Did it end before the Giants kickoff?
No.
We going into the second Giants game, and both Amari and Dak, who was also the best examples to everybody else. So what are you also telling LVE when it's his time? Play dirty.
You're telling LVE that. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
If you be a good guy, you see what happened to the last good guys.
Yeah, that's what you're telling LVE.
Yeah, that's what it's telling LVE. It's telling Awuzie, hey, you better get ready to take your gloves off and fight them bare knuckle because they gonna be nasty. So it's gearing up all the players like, oh, I see how it go here. So this ego war that we literally fighting against our own players are going to have long-term consequences in the future negotiations, because these boys ain't blind. They watching Dak work hard. Look, you was at training camp, West Coast. I was at the practices here in Dallas, right? The first thing I noticed is about Dak is Dak used every one of his seconds as soon as he hit the field working on his game, bro. He literally went out there, he was doing this. Then he started stretching doing this. I mean, immediately, while everybody chit-chatting, talking, he doing this. Then he went from the 10 to the 50, just doing this, pumping his shoulders, right? Getting his rhythm exercises in. Then he was doing it with his hips the whole time. And when Jason Garrett said everybody up, he kept doing it all the way up to Jason Garrett. You telling me the whole team watching this man be the most hardworking person on the field get done like this ain't gonna have long-term consequences?
I mean, if you're a dummy. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Let's just be real. We know this team doesn't get down like that. You want to know why? Because look, how did they treat the last person who did that? How did they treat Zeke, who the national media said did it absolutely wrong? The NFL team, the Dallas Cowboys, supported him. So that lets me believe that they're gonna support Dak the exact same way that they support Zeke. Like, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Like, if Dak was to come in and say, "Yo, I'm holding out. I'm not playing to your guys' contract," the only people that would be mad is management and the fans. Because the team, the players wouldn't be mad at him because they know, because Dak know that it was Zeke. Because Dak know that it was. Zeke knows that it was Dak that was supporting him. Zeke remembers how he came back to that locker room. He also remembers that this is also a team. This was a team because you can always get a player to talk about someone else, even though they say they don't. But even Phillip Rivers said it. Oh, we have some about Melvin Gordon. Oh, we have some really good young guys here that are really doing well. And when they asked about Melvin Gordon's money. You know what I'm saying? What did they ask D-Law? They said, man, I already told y'all we ain't talking about another man's money. That's what D-Law told you.
Mm-hmm. They had his back.
You know what I'm saying? They had his back. So it's like they understand what's going on, man. But
they understand, bro.
Look, man, this has been a great show, man. We've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes, man. About to get into some barbecue, man. Boss Cowboy, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, Boss Cowboy Sports, and man, go check out them latest articles. I do want to give us some good news before we get off, because when you talk about this, it can leave you you can leave this show angry. Okay, I don't want y'all to leave angry. I want to say one thing before we get out, West Coast. Likely, Stephen Jones said what he said Friday because this is more than likely his last-ditch effort to try to get them to come under market. It was exactly what they did with Zeke a week before they signed him. They talked real tough before they caved. So I think we hitting that period of the season to where, okay, we spent enough time on this. At some point, we got to let these guys just focus on football. And I think it's real close. I would be surprised if they don't do it before this next Giants game. And I'm talking about both contracts.
I mean, it makes sense. And they both players are well deserved, especially Amari Cooper out there playing. He damn near hurt. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, you guys already know what it is, man. We appreciate you guys for watching tonight, man. Make sure you guys tune back in tomorrow morning. We'll be live right here, same place. Actually, it's 10 o'clock in the morning in California, but it's actually 12 out there in Texas. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 12. Follow us on the various Instagram pages, and we appreciate you guys for the support, man. But you guys already know what it is, man. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.